Mindful eating for cognitive vitality, the prospect of aging often brings with it a shadow of concern regarding the sharpness of the mind and the reliability of memory. In a culture that frequently equates speed with intelligence, the natural evolution of the brain can be met with anxiety rather than acceptance. However, a shift in perspective reveals that cognitive longevity is not merely about genetics, but is deeply influenced by daily choices and the quality of attention brought to the act of nourishment. By integrating specific nutritional powerhouses into a diet grounded in awareness, it is possible to build a neuroprotective shield that supports clarity and vitality well into the later years. This journey offers a pathway to not only preserve memory, but to enhance the relationship between the body and the mind, transforming the simple act of eating into a profound practice of self-care. The vibrancy of berries and the practice of sensory awareness, the human brain is a metabolically active organ that is particularly susceptible to oxidative stress, a process where harmful free radicals damage cells over time. This damage is often accelerated by lifestyle factors and environmental stressors, leading to the gradual decline of cognitive functions such as memory retention and processing speed. Nature, however, provides a potent countermeasure in the form of deep pigmented berries like blueberries and strawberries. These fruits are rich in anthocyanins, the compounds responsible for their vivid red, blue, and purple hues. From a biological standpoint, anthocyanins possess the remarkable ability to cross the blood-brain barrier, where they exert anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects directly on neural tissue. They facilitate communication between brain cells and have been shown to improve the brain's plasticity, which is the essential capacity to form new connections and adapt to new information. Approaching these fruits through the lens of Jon Kabat-Zinn's philosophy of mindfulness transforms them from simple snacks into tools for grounding the mind in the present moment. The act of eating a blueberry, for instance, can be an exercise in full awareness. Instead of mindlessly consuming a handful while distracted by television or conversation, the individual is invited to pause and engage with the fruit through all the senses. This involves noticing the texture of the skin, the variation in color, and the subtle burst of flavor upon the first bite. This sensory immersion does more than enhance the enjoyment of food. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, shifting the body out of a stress response and into a state of rest and digest. This physiological shift is crucial because chronic stress is a known antagonist to memory formation and hippocampal health. Incorporating berries into a daily routine offers a practical application of this dual approach to nutrition and mindfulness. A senior might choose to start the morning with a bowl of oatmeal, topped with fresh strawberries or blueberries. Rather than rushing through this meal to begin the day's tasks, the breakfast becomes a meditation. The individual observes the steam rising from the bowl, the contrast of the red fruit against the oats, and the warmth of the food. This practice of eating with intention ensures that the nutrients are better assimilated, as digestion begins in the brain with the anticipation of food. Furthermore, the regular intake of these flavonoid-rich fruits supports the maintenance of healthy blood vessels, ensuring that the brain receives a steady supply of oxygen and glucose, which are critical for sustained mental energy throughout the day. However, it is important to acknowledge that the benefits of berries are not a panacea that works in isolation from other lifestyle factors. A diet rich in antioxidants cannot fully offset the detrimental effects of a highly sedentary lifestyle, chronic sleep deprivation, or a diet otherwise high in processed sugars and saturated fats. There is a limitation to how much biological repair nutrition alone can achieve if the systemic environment of the body is constantly inflamed. Additionally, some individuals may have dietary restrictions or sensitivities to the natural acids found in certain berries. In such cases, the principle of listening to one's body takes precedence. The mindful approach dictates that one must be attuned to how the body responds to different foods, honoring its signals of comfort or discomfort rather than rigidly adhering to a prescribed list of superfoods. The mechanism by which berries support memory extends to the molecular level, where they help to clear the accumulation of toxic proteins that are often associated with age-related neurodegeneration. Research suggests that the polyphenol found in these fruits can enhance the signaling pathways involved in learning and memory. This biochemical support acts as a buffer against the natural wear and tear of aging. When combined with the stress-reducing benefits of mindfulness, the result is a comprehensive strategy for brain health. The reduction of cortisol levels through mindful practices complements the anti-inflammatory action of the anthocyanins, creating a synergistic effect that protects the hippocampus, the region of the brain most critical for memory and spatial navigation. In a scenario where a person feels the onset of mental fatigue in mid-afternoon, the typical response might be to reach for caffeine or a sugary snack for a quick energy spike. A mindful alternative involves preparing a small portion of mixed berries. The individual takes a moment to step away from their activities, sitting quietly to consume the fruit. This pause acts as a mental reset, allowing the brain to disengage from the intense focus of the day and recharge. The natural sugars in the fruit provide a gentle lift in energy without the crash associated with refined sugar, while the antioxidants begin their work of scavenging free radicals generated by mental exertion. This habit not only nourishes the brain, but also trains the mind to seek restoration through healthy, natural sources rather than artificial stimulants. The integration of these nutritional choices requires a shift in how one views the purpose of eating. It is not merely about fueling the biological machine, but about honoring the vessel that enables engagement with the world. Jon Kabat-Zinn emphasizes that the body is the primary instrument through which we experience life, and caring for it is an act of wisdom. By choosing foods that support neural health and consuming them with an attitude of gratitude and presence, the individual fosters a sense of agency over their aging process. This empowerment is vital for mental well-being, as it counters the feelings of helplessness that can sometimes accompany the physical changes of growing older. The simple berry becomes a symbol of this proactive and attentive stance toward life. Ultimately, the inclusion of berries in the diet is a testament to the power of small, consistent actions. It is not necessary to make radical changes overnight. Rather, the cumulative effect of daily mindful choices creates a trajectory of health. As the brain receives the nutrients it needs to repair and thrive, the mind remains clearer and more capable of retaining the precious memories that define a person's life story. This biological resilience, paired with the psychological resilience cultivated through mindfulness, provides a robust foundation for aging with dignity and vitality. What am I missing when I rush through my meals? Avocados and the architecture of neural resilience, while berries address the need for antioxidant protection. The structural integrity of the brain relies heavily on healthy fats, making avocados a premier recommendation for cognitive health. The human brain is composed of approximately 60% fat, and the quality of dietary fat consumed directly influences the pliability and efficiency of brain cell membranes. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, which promote healthy blood flow and help lower blood pressure. Since hypertension is a significant risk factor for cognitive decline, maintaining optimal vascular health is essential for ensuring that the brain receives adequate nutrients and oxygen. The monounsaturated fats in avocados contribute to the flexibility of cell membranes, allowing for more efficient transmission of neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that facilitate thought, memory, and mood regulation. From the perspective of mindful awareness, the avocado offers a lesson in texture and richness, inviting a slowing down of the eating pace. The high-fat content of the fruit provides a sense of satiety that signals the body to stop eating when full, aligning with the practice of listening to internal cues rather than external rules. Jon Kabat-Zinn's teachings encourage a non-judgmental observation of bodily sensations, including hunger and fullness. Consuming healthy fats supports this by regulating appetite hormones, preventing the blood sugar spikes and crashes that can lead to brain fog and irritability. A stable internal environment allows the mind to remain steady and focused, free from the erratic energy swings driven by simple carbohydrates. Consider the biological mechanism of neuroprotection provided by the nutrients within avocados, such as vitamin K and folate. Vitamin K is essential for preventing blood clots in the brain and protecting against stroke, while folate plays a critical role in preventing the accumulation of homocysteine, a substance that can impair nutrient delivery to the brain. High levels of homocysteine are often linked to a higher risk of Alzheimer's disease. Therefore, the avocado acts as a multifaceted guardian of neural health, reinforcing the vascular highways and biochemical pathways that sustain cognitive function. This creates a solid physiological foundation upon which the mind can operate efficiently, processing information and retrieving memories with greater ease. In a practical daily context, an individual might incorporate avocado into their lunch by adding slices to a salad or spreading it on whole grain toast. The preparation itself can be an act of mindfulness. Slicing through the skin, removing the pit, and noticing the creamy green flesh engages the visual and tactile senses. As the meal is consumed, the focus remains on the richness of the flavor and the feeling of nourishment it provides. This is a moment to appreciate the complexity of the food and its journey from the earth to the plate. It serves as a gentle reminder of the interconnection between nature and human health, a core tenet of mindful living. This conscious connection reinforces the intention to care for oneself, turning a mundane lunch into a reaffirmation of health goals. A limitation to consider is that avocados are calorie-dense, and for individuals monitoring their caloric intake for weight management, portion control is necessary. Mindfulness plays a key role here as well. By eating slowly and paying full attention, one is likely to feel satisfied with a smaller amount. It is also worth noting that while healthy fats are crucial, they must be part of a balanced lipid profile. Relying solely on one source of fat without considering the broader diet could lead to imbalances. The goal is integration, not fixation. The counterpoint to the benefits of avocados is the context in which they are consumed. Eating them alongside highly processed foods or fried items diminishes their positive impact. The midpoint of this exploration reveals a deeper insight into the gut-brain axis. The fiber content in avocados supports a healthy microbiome, which communicates directly with the brain via the vagus nerve. A healthy gut produces the majority of the body's serotonin, a neurotransmitter that regulates mood and sleep. Thus, the consumption of fiber-rich fruits like avocado supports emotional stability, which is intrinsically linked to cognitive performance. When the gut is healthy, inflammation is reduced systemically, clearing the fog that often hampers mental clarity. This biological reality underscores the importance of treating the body as a unified system rather than a collection of isolated parts. Understanding the role of inflammation is central to both medical science and mindfulness practice. Inflammation in the body can be seen as a biological form of stress or reactivity. Just as mindfulness teaches the mind to observe stress without reacting impulsively, anti-inflammatory foods help the body manage physical stress without spiraling into chronic disease. The monounsaturated fats in avocados help dampen the body's inflammatory response, preserving the delicate neural networks involved in memory consolidation. This creates a physical state of calm that mirrors the mental state cultivated through meditation and awareness practices. It is entirely valid for a person to pause and appreciate that caring for the brain is not a selfish act but a necessary one. A healthy brain enables one to be more present for loved ones and more engaged in the community. The ritual of preparing food with healthy fats can also serve as a bridge to better dietary habits overall. When one experiences the sustained energy and mental clarity that comes from a lunch rich in healthy fats, it reinforces the behavior. The positive feedback loop is established not through willpower, but through the direct experience of well-being. This empirical knowledge, knowing how good it feels to be nourished, is far more powerful than abstract nutritional advice. It empowers the senior to make choices based on internal wisdom rather than external pressure. Where do I feel the difference between fullness and satisfaction? Citrus, pomegranate, and the flow of cognitive energy The vascular system acts as the lifeline for the brain, and fruits like oranges, grapefruits, and pomegranates play a pivotal role in maintaining the integrity of this delivery system. Pomegranates, in particular, are laden with punicalagins, potent antioxidants that have been shown to preserve nitric oxide in the body. Nitric oxide is a molecule that relaxes blood vessels, improving blood flow and reducing arterial stiffness. Enhanced circulation ensures that oxygen and glucose are efficiently delivered to active brain regions, supporting sustained attention and problem-solving abilities. Citrus fruits, rich in vitamin C, further support this by preventing the oxidation of cholesterol and protecting the endothelial lining of the arteries. From a mindfulness perspective, the consumption of citrus offers a vibrant sensory experience that can cut through lethargy. The sharp scent of peeling an orange or the complex, tart flavor of pomegranate seeds demands attention. This intensity of flavor can be used as an anchor to the present moment, snapping the mind out of autopilot. Jon Kabat-Zinn frequently speaks of the doing mode versus the being mode. The strong sensory input from these fruits invites the individual into the being mode, where the focus is entirely on the immediate experience of taste and smell. This momentary immersion breaks the cycle of rumination or worry that often occupies the aging mind, providing a refreshing mental pause. Biologically, the brain is highly sensitive to the status of the body's hydration and electrolyte balance, which fruits naturally support. However, the specific contribution of vitamin C goes beyond general health. It is a cofactor in the synthesis of neurotransmitters such as dopamine and norepinephrine. These chemicals are critical for motivation, alertness, and the regulation of mood. A deficiency in these areas can manifest as apathy or cognitive slowing. By ensuring an adequate intake of vitamin C through citrus fruits, the individual supports the biochemical machinery required for a sharp and engaged mind. This chemical support is the hardware upgrade that allows the software of the mind to run smoothly. A practical application might involve the ritual of an afternoon snack consisting of a pomegranate or grapefruit. The process of extracting pomegranate seeds requires patience and manual dexterity, acting as a fine motor exercise that keeps the hands and the brain coordinated. This mindful work of preparing the fruit slows down the pace of consumption, allowing the digestive system to prepare and the mind to settle. The bright colors of the fruit serve as a visual stimulus, and the burst of juice provides immediate feedback. This multisensory engagement keeps the brain active and processes integrated, which is a key component of maintaining neuroplasticity. It is necessary to address the limitation regarding medication interactions, particularly with grapefruit. Certain compounds in grapefruit can interfere with enzymes that metabolize medications, leading to potentially dangerous levels of drugs in the bloodstream. This highlights the importance of awareness and education in the pursuit of health. A mindful approach to eating includes being informed about how food interacts with one's specific medical context. It is not enough to simply follow a list of good foods. One must understand their own body's unique landscape. In such cases, oranges or pomegranates may serve as safe and effective alternatives, offering similar vascular benefits without the specific enzymatic inhibition. There's a reflective aspect to understanding that the body's needs change with time. As the body ages, the efficiency of absorbing certain nutrients may decrease, and the need for antioxidant protection increases. The antioxidants in these fruits also play a role in protecting the brain from the accumulation of amyloid plaques, a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. While no single food can prevent the disease entirely, the consistent reduction of oxidative stress lowers the overall risk profile. The narrative here is one of defense and preservation. By keeping the blood vessels open and pliable, and by scavenging the free radicals that threaten cellular DNA, these fruits act as agents of longevity. They allow the brain to age with grace, maintaining the faculties necessary for independence and connection. In the broader context of a senior's life, the energy derived from these fruits supports the ability to engage in other brain-healthy activities, such as social interaction, reading, or physical exercise. The boost in alertness provided by the optimal synthesis of neurotransmitters can make the difference between a day spent in passive observation and a day of active participation. The vitality of the mind is inextricably linked to the vitality of the body, and the choice to consume these vascular supporting fruits is a vote for a life of continued engagement. How does the quality of my energy change when I eat with intention? Cultivating a mindful path to cognitive longevity, the synthesis of nutritional science and mindfulness creates a robust framework for aging that transcends the simple fear of decline. The journey through the benefits of berries, avocados, and vascular supporting fruits like pomegranate reveals that food is not merely fuel, but information. Every bite sends signals to the genome, influencing the expression of genes related to inflammation, repair, and metabolism. When this biological reality is met with the psychological practice of mindfulness, the result is a lifestyle that honors the complexity of the human organism. Jon Kabat-Zinn's insight that wherever you go, there you are applies profoundly to the aging process. The quality of one's presence in the later years is determined by the care invested in the body and mind today. A comprehensive approach requires the integration of these nutritional elements into a consistent pattern of living. It is not the occasional consumption of a superfood that yields results, but the steady, rhythmic nourishment of the brain over time. This consistency mirrors the practice of meditation itself. It is the return to the breath, again and again, that builds the muscle of attention. Similarly, the return to whole, unprocessed, nutrient-dense foods builds the biological resilience of the brain. This path rejects the notion of a magic bullet and instead embraces the wisdom of accumulation. Small, positive choices compounding over years to produce a mind that remains agile and a memory that remains clear. The conclusion of this exploration brings into focus the quantifiable promise of a sharper mind and a more vibrant life. While no protocol can guarantee immunity from all illness, the evidence is compelling that a diet rich in flavonoids, monounsaturated fats, and antioxidants, when consumed in a state of low stress and high awareness, significantly alters the trajectory of cognitive aging. The brain retains the capacity for growth and repair far longer than previously believed, provided it is given the right raw materials and the right environment. The reduction of systemic inflammation and the preservation of vascular health are tangible, measurable outcomes of this lifestyle. However, the ultimate goal is not just a high-functioning brain for its own sake, but for the sake of the life it enables. A sharp memory allows for the retelling of family histories, the learning of new skills, and the deep enjoyment of the present moment. The clarity of mind supported by these foods fosters a sense of security and autonomy, reducing the dependence on others and enhancing the dignity of the senior years. This is the true fruit of the practice, a life lived fully, with the mental faculties intact to appreciate the richness of every remaining season. The invitation stands to view the grocery store not as a chore, but as a pharmacy of potential. Each choice is an opportunity to advocate for one's own future. By selecting foods that nourish the neural architecture and eating them with a spirit of gratitude and attention, the individual takes a definitive stand against the passive acceptance of decline. This is a proactive, empowered approach to longevity that places the keys to health firmly in one's own hands. The intersection of biology and awareness offers a hopeful horizon. It suggests that while aging is inevitable, the degradation of the self is not. Through the wise selection of what enters the body and the cultivation of how the mind perceives it, a future of clarity, connection, and vitality is not just a possibility, but a reachable reality. The legacy of such a life is one of presence, leaving an imprint of wisdom and well-being on all who are encountered. What choice can I make today to honor my future self?